Bets, brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. We are running a little bit late today. I apologize. Not as late as I was running this morning. But we are still running a bit late. I'm sorry for that. Coming up in just a second, we will chat with our buddy Aaron Oster from out in Vegas at VSiN. Then later on, we will head into the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, where we will be joined by our friend Leon Twyman, the general manager of the Fanduel Sportsbook. That is all coming up. Oh, man, what a week. U.S. Open, baseball, college football, NFL, UFC. There is so much for you to try to bet on and win some money this week in the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. And let's try to win some money right now. Hopefully he'll have a better week than he had a week ago. He is our buddy Aaron Oster from out at VSiN in Vegas. And he's back with us now here on Simply the Bets. Yuck. Rough week last week, pal.
Yeah, college football was not very nice to me last week.
Yeah, not great. I had a terrible college football week, by the way, too. I had a brutal college football week. I had Maryland to cover. I had Ohio State to cover. I had Oregon covering.
Ooh.
I only missed that one by about 40 points. That's all. No biggie. It was a rough week. But you know what? That's the way it goes. You just got to get right back out on the horse, and you got to go try to find
the great thing about gambling, right?
Yep. There's always more games next week. We, of course, with Aaron, he makes his 5 L's every week, his local, his long shot, his long term, his lovable, and his loser bets for the week. Let's begin locally. What do you like?
This game is I'm going to start with the Ravens game, of course. It's week 1. Got to do it. I'm not going to do something crazy and go off. I'm going to play the Ravens game. But, man, is this game tough just because there's so many unknowns with the Jets. Obviously, the Ravens, coming back from injury, you don't know from all the injuries they had last year, you don't exactly know what they'll look like. I'm kind of just staying away from the side and total on this one because I don't like betting into a game where there's so many unknowns. But props, even though they've been holding back the props, not just because it's early in the week, but they're also, I feel, especially holding it back because they just have no idea about the Jets. They have no idea who's starting at quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. But a few props have started to trickle out, and there is one that I like. They have touchdown props. Mark Andrews is plus 105 to score a touchdown. And even though the Jets have gotten better on defense, last year they were atrocious when they faced a mildly decent tight end. Kyle Pitts got his 1 touchdown of the season against the Jets. Dallas Goedert scored 2 against them when they played. Hunter Henry scored a touchdown. They have trouble keeping tight ends out of the end zone. And of course, Mark Andrews is going to be not the entire passing offense, but the first, second, and third choice of this Ravens offense, especially as they get down close to the end zone if they are passing the ball. So at plus 105, I don't mind that at all. So give me a Mark Andrews touchdown at plus 105.
All right. I like that. It makes a lot of sense to me. I'm also staring at Lamar Jackson just running a touchdown in as well at plus 120.
Yeah, I was looking at that one as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of staring at that and thinking that might be tasty too. All right, next, what do you like as far as something that's long-term? Give me futures bets.
Okay, and we're going to make this an entirely NFL-centric because, look, again, week 1. Want to play NFL, want to get these in. I keep looking at this one, and as a fan, I can't play it, but I think the odds are wrong about this. The Buccaneers are the biggest favorite of any division winner. Which, look, I get it. They're the Buccaneers. I get it. The other teams aren't great. However, the Buccaneers have a lot of problems, particularly along the offensive line. You got to think, I know we've been saying this for about a decade now, eventually Tom Brady isn't going to be MVP Tom Brady at 45. But it mainly comes down to the injuries, the offensive line problems. And the Saints, who I think have a better defense than the Buccaneers, I think, look, the offense is questionable, but they potentially have a competent offense, and they're plus 300 to win the division. Now, again, this is something I just think is not the best odds. The Bucs, look, they're a big favorite. I think the Saints have a better than 25% chance to win this division. I think their defense could carry them, and if the Bucs suffer one more injury to the offensive line, I don't know who protects Tom Brady. So I think that this number ends up going down, I think you're getting a good number on this one. So give me the Saints to win the NFC South at plus 300.
Oh, man. I hear you. I mean, I do hear you. I do hear you. I just don't know that I buy it. That's all. I don't know that I like their defense a lot, and if Michael Thomas really is, there is a lot to like. I keep coming back to. Y'all can keep trying to tell me. You can keep trying to convince me that Jameis Winston can be a thing. I don't.
He was good last year with the Saints.
He was
before the injured.
He was goodish. Like he was. I guess he was good enough given the team that they have. Like if they could get that out of him, given the team they have, you're right. They should be fine.
If we're worried about the Jameis Winston's interception, he was 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions before the injury last year.
Right. I understand. I still. It will continue to be. I need to see it. Everybody else can just continue to be convinced that I need to see it. I need it to play out that way. All right. How about something that's more long shots? Sorry, I'm doing. Then give me an underdog that you like for the week.
One thing I love about the Fanduel Sportsbook is just the number of creative props they put together, especially their prop parlays. And there's one that jumps out for me for Thursday Night Football. Again, this is a long shot. It's something that is a little bit high priced for a reason. But at the Fanduel Sportsbook, they have both Stephon Diggs and Cooper Kupp on Thursday Night Football, each to have 100 receiving yards at plus 700. And this is one definitely a long shot because as good as Diggs in, he doesn't have a ton of 100-yard receiving games. However, he's noticeably better in primetime. He averages 11 more yards in primetime than he does in the afternoon. And look, Cooper Kupp, we know that he can rack up the 100-yard games. So if you're basically telling me, it's about 7-1 for Diggs to get the 100 yards, I don't hate it. I think the concern there is that Gabriel Davis is a thing, and they'll spread it out a little more than they have in the past. But if they don't, and the rise of Gabriel Davis also kind of coincided with Diggs getting a little dinged up at the end of the season, I think having both of them get 100 yards is very reasonable, and it's 7-1. So I'll take that as my long shot.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm listening. I'm listening on that. Aaron Oster is with us from VSiN out in Vegas. We're going over his 5 L's for betting for the week. Let's get on to it. The one that you say, don't make this bet, just don't. It's a loser. Loser is what?
So I looked at the board right when weeks or months and months ago when the week 1 line started to come out. And there was something I noticed immediately that I was just like, oh God, this is going to cause problems for people. And that's simply the number of road favorites this week. There are 10 road favorites in week 1. And there are a number of them right around that 6-point marker. And that immediately said to me, oh God, people are going to go in there and they are going to say, give me, in this case, the Colts, Saints, Ravens, 49ers, Broncos, 6-point teaser, bring them all down to about a pick.
Wow.
And I'm definitely rolling in and I'm going to win that money. People are going to do that. Please don't do this. I'm not saying every team is going to lose. Go ahead.
Wait, so explain what it's a teaser on the Colts, Saints,
Ravens, 49ers, Broncos. There are 5 road favorites between 5.5 and 7.5 points.
Okay.
Now, for a teaser, for people who are just getting into this, let's explain what a teaser is.
Yes, please.
A teaser, in most cases, there are places you can do different types of teasers, but when we talk about teasers, generally we're talking about the 6-point teaser. You can take a favorite down 6 points. So in this case, let's say in the Colts game, they're 7.5-point favorites. You can take the Colts and you bring them down from 7.5 to 1.5-point favorites. You have to do this across multiple. You can do as many teams as you want. It obviously changes the juice depending on how much you do. One thing, if you're ever going to do a teaser, and while a lot of people don't like teasers, I do like teasers as long as you're playing it in a smart way. You have to pay attention to how much juice you're paying. Generally, in a 2-team teaser, you don't want to be paying more than minus 120. 3-team teaser, you want to get that plus 150. But if you're doing it right and you're doing it what's called the standard or long teaser, where you're crossing two of the key numbers, the 7s, the 3s, the 10s, there can be a way. However, in this case, I just don't like doing it when it comes to road favorites, especially early in the season. Road favorites don't generally do well early in the season. Last year, in the first 3 weeks, they were 11-7 straight up. And that's not including ATS or anything, just straight up. Road favorites were 11-7 in the first 3 weeks of the season. So, having said all of that, if you're going in there and you're saying, man, all of these teams are going to win, they're set, I'm going to get that teaser down because I'm getting them at a pick, one of those teams is going to screw you up. And by the way, that also applies to Survivors. This first week of Survivor is going to be just a bloodbath because of all of the road favorites. But just don't assume that just because a team is a big favorite that they're going to win.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by this, right? Like, this is a very complicated loser bet. And I'm playing around with
someone's going to screw you up is what I'm saying. Okay. I don't know who it is, but don't do the blanket teaser across the board.
All right. So I'm just to play around with those 5 teams that Aaron mentioned: Colts, Saints, Ravens, 49ers, Broncos. If you played a 6-point teaser on that, you would get that at plus 333. And that seems appealing, right? Because it's 5 teams that should all win. And at that point, they're all essentially pick 'em. The only one would be the Colts would have to cover 1.5 points, right? Presumably, if they're winning by more than. But basically what he's saying is if you played a 6-point teaser, those all become pick 'ems.
Yes.
And that looks
But you have to win every single one.
Correct. It looks like an appealing bet with plus 333 odds, right? You say there's an opportunity to make some money. You put $50 on that, you're coming back with like $175, something along those lines, right? Like, it looks like an appealing bet. But I get what you're saying. One of those teams ultimately ends up letting you down. One of those teams that they're going up against is a little bit better than we realized they were going to be, or whatever it is. So it's a complicated play, but it's a very interesting. I understand what you're saying. Avoid heavily betting on road favorites, particularly at the time of the year. We don't really know if these teams are actually good or not. So.
Look, just think 2 years ago, the Colts went down to Jacksonville. Everyone had them in a teaser. Everyone had them in Survivor, and that blew up really quickly.
That did happen. There is no doubt about it. All right, and finally, the one that you love, the one that you say, absolutely get there, however you got to do it, hitchhike your way to Hanover and the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland to make this bet.
Man, there are a few loves I have. I just, for Thursday night, I want to give out to Stephon Diggs over 5.5 receptions. I think Cooper Kupp over 26.5 yards for his longest reception. That would have hit 13 out of 17 regular season games last year. It's one I'm certainly going to play. But after saying all that stuff about the teaser and be careful about the road favorite, my favorite play on the board at the Fanduel Sportsbook, and it's one that you may have to rush out and get, because it's moved at just about every other sports book in America, honestly. As much as I don't like doing that big teaser that someone's going to screw it up, I don't think the 49ers are going to screw it up against the Bears. Right now at the FanDuel Sportsbook, the 49ers are minus 6.5 point favorites at Chicago. And look, you have to be a little bit wary because we don't know exactly what Trey Lance is, and that's the big question here. But I think the Bears might be the worst team in football, and actually I don't hate that play. If you're looking for another long-term play that you want to get in before the season, the Bears to be have the worst record at plus 750 is not quite bad. I just don't think there was a quote from training camp that I absolutely loved. It was, they were watching the offense like, Justin Fields isn't bad. They just don't have talent on the offensive line, wide receivers, running back, or tight end.
But other than that,
it was just like the Bears aren't good. They don't have talent anywhere across the board. I think that even if you run a toned-down version of whatever the 49ers want to do, if Trey Lance isn't that guy, if you just run the ball, you do bubble screens, and you just have the defense absolutely bury them, I think that the 49ers are going to win this game. And like I said, I really like it, the fact that you're getting better of the number. This line is going to move. It's already moved most other places. So if you can get it at -6.5, I like running out and going out now.
All right, very good. Those are the 5 L's for this week. Remind everybody what's going on at VSiN.
Check out VSiN. You can sign up for the new pro subscription there. Check all that out at vsin.com/subscribe. And, of course, we're getting ready for this NFL weekend and getting ready for the heart of college football season. So go check that out now.
All right, and follow him on Twitter at the Oster. Appreciate you, pal. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Hope everyone is their best.
It's Aaron Oster from VSiN out in Vegas joining us here on Simply the Bets. When we come back in, we'll head into the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, and we will chat with our pal Leon Twyman, the general manager. That's next. This is Simply the Bets.
What's up, everyone? This is Tyus Bowser, and I'm excited to tell you that I'm back for Season 2 of the Tyus Bowser Show in partnership with Pressbox and Great H Memorabilia. Join us on Tuesday nights throughout the season as I'll be heading all over town with my special guests. And, of course, our co-hosts, Glenn and Rita. Or is it Rita and Glenn? What is it? I look forward to meeting you guys and talking a little bit about football and a lot about life. And if you happen to miss the show, you can now catch a replay Friday nights on 105.7 The Fan. Get all of your details for the Tyus Bowser Show right now at PressBoxOnline.com/Bowser.
The next Tyus Bowser Show is Tuesday, September 6th at 7 p.m. at Guilford Hall Brewery, 1611 Guilford Avenue in Station North. The Tyus Bowser Show is brought to you by Maryland Vascular Specialists and the all-new Ginsu Grill.
That first sip. That first bite. Start your day off right with a delicious breakfast at Royal Farms. Choose from a fantastic selection of fresh Royal Farms breakfast sandwiches and top it off with a rich hot cup of the freshest coffee in the world. At Royal Farms, breakfast is available day and night. It's the freshest breakfast in the world. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
Whether your focus is luxury and comfort, convenience and technologically advanced connectivity, or sporty performance and aggressive styling, we've got the perfect Highlander for you. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Highlanders from your local Toyota dealer today.
Sports betting has come to Maryland, and we're ready to help you win some money. Tune in for Simply the Bets every Tuesday morning at 11:40. Fanduel Sportsbook GM Leon Twyman and VSiN's Aaron Oster join the guys every week to give you all of the info you need and offer you a few winners. And every other Thursday at 11:40, tune in for Weekend at Bookies as Andrew Stecca and Alloy Sports' Brad Kronthal help make you some money for the weekend. So come win some money with us on Simply the Bets every Tuesday and Weekend at Bookies every other Thursday. Brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Listen at PressBoxOnline.com/radio. Watch at YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline.
Have you been to Guilford Hall Brewery? Located in Baltimore's Station North neighborhood, Guilford Hall Brewery breaks the craft brew mold with their great handcrafted microbrews and amazing Bavarian-style food selections. Join Guilford Hall 7 days a week for Orioles, Ravens, and all of your favorite college games. Make plans now to watch the big games, play trivia, or bring your dog for Yappy Hour. They even have free valet service on Friday and Saturday nights. Go to guilfordhall.com for a complete schedule of events, beer listings, and food and drink specials. We'll see you at Guilford Hall Brewery.
This is the sound of 70,000 Ravens fans cheering a win. And this is the sound of Diane Heil of Annapolis cheering her own Ravens win.
Woohoo! Seats for 20 years!
Last year, Diane played Maryland Lottery Raven Scratch-Offs and won Raven season tickets for 20 years. Look for Raven Scratch-Offs at any Maryland Lottery retailer. You could win up to $100,000 or great Ravens prizes. Take it from Diane.
It's surreal and it's exciting and I literally can't wait.
Please play responsibly.
Don't forget that full episodes of the show are available for free on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube. But warning, you get what you pay for. You're listening to Glenn Clark Radio.
All right, back in here on Simply the Bets, a Tuesday. We do it every Tuesday at 11:40 a.m. Brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, where, of course, this week, busy week one, the NFL schedule, another big week of college football, including Alabama, Texas on Saturday, U.S. Open, and, yeah, big UFC fights as well. It is another huge week for you to be hanging out in the Fanduel Sportsbook getting all your bets in. UFC 279 on Saturday night. Nate Diaz against, tell me how to pronounce, it's
Khamzat Chimaev.
Khamzat
Chimaev, I guess. I think everyone pronounces the CH.
Khamzat Chimaev.
Bingo.
Let's make sure we have that right.
It's Chimaev.
Let's double confirm that, all right?
All right.
Considering, let's just double confirm it, all
All
right? I know Tony Ferguson's also on that card, right? So big card coming up on Saturday night that you can get your bets in at the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. Let's head there right now. He is our buddy, Leon Twyman, general manager of the Fanduel Sportsbook, and he checks in with us once again here on Simply the Bets. What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm good. Remind everybody, is there still time for them to get in to try to be a part of the Fanduel Combine on Sunday?
Yes, there is still plenty of time. We're actually taking those signups all the way until the day of the event, up to 5 p.m. on September 11th. So there's plenty of time to get in there.
So explain in order to get in, or if you want to participate, I guess let's go twofold. If you want to participate, what do you need to do this week? And two, if for people that still don't know, what is the Fanduel Combine?
So the Fanduel Combine, basically what it is, it's just a big NFL kickoff party that we're hosting inside the hall here at Live Casino. All you have to do is place a $50 football wager. It can be on NFL, it can be on college. As long as you place that $50 football wager, it gets you in the door. And then there's also a draw-in once you get in there for like some prizes and whatnot. But that $50 bet will get you in there to participate in the Combine. So they're going to have some different games there. I do know that they were going to do a 40-yard dash. I think that one got ruled out.
Oh, that's a shame because I definitely would have won that. Never mind.
There will be a quarterback toss though, so there's going to be a lot of games there. They're going to have a really nice setup over there. So definitely something fun for everyone to come out and participate in, or even you don't even have to participate. You can just come and hang out, just because. As you know, the hall is a huge venue.
Yep.
I mean, it holds thousands of people. So we're going to have hundreds of people over there. We're going to have a bunch of foods, drinks, games playing at the same time, kiosks that you can wager on while you're in there, so you're not missing out on the action. It's going to be a good time.
All right. So, and all you got to do is go at some point this week and make a $50 football bet of any kind.
Correct.
And you do have to be a Live Rewards member, correct?
Yes, you do have to be a Live Rewards member. That is correct.
You're a Live Rewards member. You make any sort of $50 football bet, and you're signed up. So if you're someone who's thinking about where you're going to spend week 1 of NFL season, what you're saying, Leon, is you could literally just go show up at 11 a.m. on Sunday, get your bet in for one of the games on Sunday, and then wander over to the hall at Live and hang out at the Fanduel Combine all afternoon.
That is correct.
I mean, that seems like a no-brainer to me. That seems like the best way that you could possibly spend the day. All that food and the atmosphere and the incredible prizes you can win as part of the Fanduel Combine. That is good stuff, man. How are the crowds this weekend, and how did the book do for week 1 of college football season?
So the crowd was really good. I was expecting it to be a lot more, but I think people were just waiting for NFL. College sports, it brings out a lot of people, but NFL just brings out, just a ton more people just to come out and hang out at the sports book. So still a good weekend. We did pretty well in the book. We did have a lot of large payouts. I think the biggest one I saw on here was $25 to win 11,000. So we had some large payouts, but we still did pretty well for the book as well.
Do you remember what that bet was by chance?
So that bet was actually, it wasn't even football. It was baseball.
just a bunch of different baseball bets.
Yeah. So it was actually some home runs. It was home runs and then match winner doubles. So some really high plus odds on those. It was a 4-pick. So $25 for all that money. Insane.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I would have thought it felt to me like all the action was coming in on Ohio State. Did that help you guys out that they failed to cover on Saturday night?
Yes, that did actually help us out. There was a ton of money on Ohio State. I had money on Ohio State as well.
Yeah, yep. As did I. As did your pal Glenn have some money on Ohio State. Those sons of bitch. All right, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little carried away. He is Leon Twyman. He is the general manager of the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Of course, this week is NFL Week 1, and I'm assuming even with the Fanduel Combine going on, it's still probably going to be a mob scene in the Sportsbook on Sunday.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely insane in here, and the whole weekend in general. I mean, we have UFC 279 on Saturday. We're going to have college football Saturday. We're going to have people coming in trying to get their NFL bets in on Saturday. And then, of course, you have Sunday where everyone's going to show up then. Like, it's just going to be a madhouse, and I'm absolutely looking forward to it.
And, of course,
I'm waiting for the action.
I know when you're 100-foot media wall, you're going to have, obviously, the Ravens-Jets game up on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And then, of course, at 4 o'clock, you'll have the U.S. Open final up, obviously, on the media wall, because that's what everybody's going to be there to watch and bet on, correct? Like, that's the big thing that's going on Sunday.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be big.
By the way, we're kidding. We're kidding. The football games will be on the screens. We're kidding. We promise you, it'll be the football games. The U.S. Open final will be on a screen. Like, you'll be able to see it.
It'll be on the screen,
yes.
A screen, like you said.
Yes, but it will not be the primary featured thing. We all understand, although I am very excited about the possibility. It could be Maryland's own Francis Tiafoe playing in the U.S. Open final on Sunday, which would be...
Hey, you never know. We might get that request. You know?
Wild, man, if that were the case. Remind everybody about betting pads.
So the bet pads, as of right now, it's a $20 minimum. You can go up to the tills, talk to a ticket writer, ask for a QR code to fund your session on the bet pad. Go back to your seat, scan that QR code in the bet pad, and you have your own kiosk in front of you. It's a mobile kiosk. They call it a miosk.
I love that miosk term. I'm going with that, man. It's the exact same. You're used to it. You know exactly how to interact with it. And it could not be more convenient as far as getting your bets in. I mean, it is the most convenient way that you could go about it, especially on days like Sunday where you're going to get in there and you're going to be hanging out there all day long. It could not be more convenient. Anything else that jumps out at you that people need to know about before they head down that way this week, Leon?
So yesterday we actually started our free bet promo. So it wasn't supposed to start until later this week, but it started yesterday. So if you place a $25 parlay, any parlay, you will actually get a $5 free bet for every $25 parlay that you wager up to $50. All
right, hang on. This had a lot of moving parts. You gotta remember, I'm a dumb guy, so walk me back through it one more time.
So what it is that if you place a $25 parlay, could be any parlay, you'll get a $5 free bet voucher.
Wow.
And you can bet up to, basically you can get up to $50 in your one session of a free bet.
So you're saying if I make $25 or 10 different $25 parlay bets, I can get
correct.
I can get 10 $5 free bet vouchers.
Correct.
Wow. Oh man.
And the kicker with that is that those free bet vouchers, you have to place those on a plus 500 or more odds parlay.
Oh, well, this is interesting, right? This is interesting because this could end up getting you a huge free win, but you got to be really thoughtful in how it is that you go about playing that bet in order to try to get the odds to that number. Well, I am intrigued. And how long is that running for?
That is running until October 9th.
Okay, so that will run well into football season, so an opportunity for you to take advantage of that offer. Great stuff, man. I know it's going to be a big week. Can't wait to get back down there and see. Appreciate you as always. We'll talk to you next Tuesday, all right?
All right. Have a good one.
Leon Twyman, the general manager of the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, checking in with us this week on Simply the Bets. +500. You got to put a few legs together in order to make that number work. and be comfortable with it. Of course, our friend Ernest Goes to Work cannot do any of that. He cannot take advantage of any of these things because we want to make sure we stay NCAA compliant. Very important. If anybody is listening, if they have bugged this room in any way, we would not be doing that. Not okay. For Ernest Goes to Work, this is for entertainment purposes only. That's all.
Simply a fly on the wall.
Exactly right. Nothing more than that. Let's get a tidbit. Griffin, what do you got for us this week?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
the time we do that.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I'm trying to. So, did you take the over or the under on the Hawaii Western Kentucky game?
I did
Saturday
not bet
night?
that particular contest.
You weren't going to stay up until 4 a.m.
No.
Making sure.
Was it at that late
It was.
night?
It ended up. I think it ended at like 3:45 a.m. Eastern time.
The Alcaraz match ended at about that time last night. By the way.
Well, if you did, I took the under in that one just because I wanted something to care about. I ended up falling asleep, so I didn't get to sweat this one out.
The eternal problem with Hawaii football is you get to the end of the night and you're like, I just want one more. I just want one more.
Well, it was West Kentucky was leading 49-17, and Hawaii was driving late. And so it's 3:30 a.m. on the East Coast. If anyone was watching this, and so they were driving, there was 66 total points scored, and the over/under was 67.5. So if Hawaii punches it in, it's over. It was fourth, or they had a first and goal, so they had 4 straight like first and goals on the 1 yard line. Back-to-back plays. Their quarterback was just trying to run it in. He had a clear lane. He just tripped over his own feet. Could have walked in. Did it on like second and goal. He tripped over his feet, fell, and then the second, and then actually I think it was a big tackle, but he started stumbling on fourth and goal.
Rough scene.
And even if you had the over, you still had a chance though, because then Western Kentucky had the ball on on the half-yard line, so they needed to get a kneel down for one final play. They did. So the under cashed on that one. If a great bad beat. If you took the over.
And which one did you play?
I played the under.
Yeah,
so I woke up.
Quarterback must have hammered the under too.
So I woke up and I was like, oh, sick.
That's rough. That is real rough, man.
So yeah, ton of college football.
Imagine
parlays.
being up that late too. Like imagine you're staying up.
Someone over here on the East Coast.
Somebody did something really. Somebody made a terrible decision in their life. Like I mean, like that. Because first of all, you're obviously drunk. Like you've obviously consumed a great amount of alcohol, and you're up at 3:30 in the morning, and you're just waiting on one more bet to come in.
Come
and
on,
you're
just
like,
walk
it's
in the
there.
end zone.
Someone did something very bad. Someone does not have their TV. Someone tossed their entire bed out of a second-story window. Something like that happened. Remember when? Oh God, you guys are probably too young for this even. I was gonna say, you remember when Ronnie threw Sammy's bed out of the room on Jersey Shore? Like that, something like that occurred because of this Hawaii football game at 3:30 in the morning.
I would love to hear about it. Please tell us.
God.
Please tell us about it.
God.
I had a couple more college football parlay losses. Someone had 11.
It's okay when it's cheeky. The problem is when you find out it's actually a lot darker than that. Like what somebody did because they lost.
Yeah,
like
true.
it's fun when it's a cheeky story when you just did damage. Like you ran your head into the wall. You gave yourself a concussion. Like all right, that could be funny. Like,
do you think Hawaii made someone homeless this weekend?
Probably the case. I think Kauai's made a few people homeless over the years.
So someone had $11,000 on the line in a 13-leg college football parlay off of a free bet too, and they just needed Houston to beat Florida straight up at the end of that one, and then they threw the game-ending interception in the end zone that Florida picked off and was able to hold on to win that one. So that parlay did not hit. Also, someone painted Oregon plus 17 like on their car windows with like that car. I mean, I guess it's safe paint, but they were like trying to go through the car wash. They couldn't get it off, so they're just going to be driving around for the next month or so with Oregon plus 17, and they lost by 46.
Good. Yeah, it was.
There were some wins. Someone put $10,000 on Alabama to just win straight up against.
No, by the way,
State.
nice pick on your part. Nice pick on your part.
I thought they'd at least get in the end zone, man. I mean,
who was it? New Mexico State,
Utah State.
Take Utah
55-0.
State to cover. They lost 55-0.
Yeah. So someone put $10K on Alabama. They made $50.
I'd make more fun of you, but I picked Maryland to cover. So it's what it is. I don't even remember what my Andy Ruiz bet was. That was the funny thing. I don't even remember what the bet was.
Andy Ruiz won.
But I understand that, but I can't remember what the bet was that I made. I think I bet him to win via the points. I think, was the way that I
Should I pull it up and play it? See what we.
If I did, it's a big win for your boy.
Pull up our bad takes.
I needed a win badly, and so as long as that's what I picked, I did get a win.
I'm looking forward to righting the ship this weekend with UFC.
You right?
Speaking of which, I did hit a nice UFC parlay. Because
that
they're
does
in
not
France.
help us when you're not sharing.
Yeah, I
it
know.
with
I should have.
everyone.
Well, I mean, you should have known they're in
Bragging
France.
about what you.
So I took all 5 French fighters on the card to win, and it was like plus 700 hit.
And they all won.
Yeah, they all won.
How about that? That's
pretty cool.
It's kind of neat.
So 19 leg college football parlay. They put $1 to win $22K. Clemson was the last leg last night that they needed, and they covered, and they put $1 to win 20. Yeah,
$1 turned into. What were the other legs?
I can look it up. I didn't write it down because it was 19 of them, but it was like legit. It was legit stuff. Like they had spreads. Like they had spreads in there. It could have gone either way. Another 11-teamer. This guy put $150 on an 11-leg college football parlay. $77,000 payout.
And it hit.
Yeah. And baseball's still going on too. Someone put $15 on Ohtani to hit 2 homers last night. 28-1. He hit 2 homers last night.
He did indeed. And they lost, didn't they?
No, they did. They actually.
They won
Angels
that one?
actually did.
All
Yeah,
right,
they
wow.
won like 9-0.
So this was not a tungsten arm situation last night, but that's neat. All right, very good. Thanks to Aaron Oster. Thanks to Leon Twyman for joining us. We will be back next Tuesday for the next Simply the Bets. Enjoy your week down in the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, and may the odds be ever in your favor.